Oh, back again for another exciting installment of Journalism with Mr. Karle, are we? Well, and for today's lesson, let's talk about the structure of a hard news article. Hard news refers to that up-to-date, hard-hitting news. But let's get into it a little bit more. As you watch this video, I want you to write down 10 to 15 details that you think someone would need to know about the structure of a hard news article that you'll have to bring in for class tomorrow. So, what is hard news? Locking the right information into the right places is the essence of reporting. It's just that hard news is the essence of any newspaper. That's Connolly. He wrote that back in the old 1997, before many of you were born. Hard news generally refers to news that details with a series of topics, events, or affairs that are reported immediately. They are time sensitive and tend to not be relevant after a certain date, right? So this is the evening news, the news of the day, and things along those lines, right? Hard news articles will take a factual approach. Who was involved, what happened, where and when, how and why. Right? So this is, again, we talk about you being this sort of vessel for the information, the facts. You're bringing the facts to the reader. It follows a structure which ensures that the most newsworthy information is given first, and then the information with the weakest news value is left until last, right? And so that's what we talked about before, but we'll talk about again this inverted pyramid style of writing. And here we are, the inverted pyramid. The most recognized and commonly used structure for a hard news story is the inverted pyramid, right? The inverted pyramid is a graphic representation of the journalistic principle that a story's most important element should appear at the top. Here's my man Connolly again in 97, right? So basically what he's saying there is that the most important information in the article should appear first in the article, the most newsworthy. That way your readers, your consumers of news, can sort of skip through the different parts and skip through the beginning, read through the beginning and get the most important information, right? It came about during the 19th century when telegraph wires were leaving editors with incomplete stories, so reporters were told to send the most important information first, right? So just utilitarian, it's the utility of it. Give me the most important information first, because if I don't get that, I might not get the complete information. So the inverted pyramid was put in place, and to this day, it is arguably the most efficient structure for communicating hard news quickly, coherently, and clearly. It allows the reader to scan the first sentence of a paragraph of the story, pick up the key facts in the introduction, arouses their interest, and they can keep reading, or if not, they can move on to the next story. It employs what we call Kipling's questions, right, which are the 5 W's and the H: where, when, why, who, what, and how. So here's what it looks like. Intro or lead: most important elements of the story should encapsulate the main ideas of the story in a short sentence of up to 25 words. Explain what happened, who, and where. Then the body is the subsequent paragraphs. That's all of them after the lead. It should explain when, how, and why what happened. Then the tail, that's the last part of the body, the paragraph, or the article, and that's the sort of pointy part of the pyramid here. Quotes, chronology, background information, least newsworthy details. That way, if you get this, you're good to go. If you're still interested, you can read more information. Quotes from people who observed whatever you're reporting on, or experts about it, people that you can talk to get more information. Parts of hard news articles: the headline, right? Just like we've seen before, convey the general message in as many words as will fit. Has to be informative and can be clever. So in as many words as can fit, that's what we're talking about, that if we have a space crunch. With our school newspaper, obviously we don't have the same kind of space crunch as a as you know, a newspaper that you would buy at the store. But the intro and the lead, most important part of the article, it should encapsulate the main ideas of the story in a short, sharp sentences up to 25 words. We saw that before. We'll usually explain what happened to who and where. The body, subsequent paragraphs, we saw this all in this inverted pyramid, right? Who, where, when. The tail may use quotes, background information, and or chronology. The last part of the article contains the least newsworthy details. That's just sort of spelled out how the article, the inverted pyramid, works. Oh, there's a blank slide for you. And there's another one. So essentially, if we're talking about a hard news article, these are all of the parts. Intro, lead, most newsworthy stuff. Body paragraph expands on the ideas of in the lead. Then the tail is where you sort of fill it in with these different ideas and these different quotes. So that's all for now. Thanks for stopping by.